What's good, everybody? This your boy Blackout Jones. Game 1 is in the books. As you can see, the Tennessee Volunteers won 45-26 against the Syracuse Orange. I'm going to talk about that and a whole lot more. But before I do, please hit that subscribe button. Please hit that notification bell so you can continue to get this content. This is definitely my first post-game report for the Tennessee Volunteers. So, you know what I always like to say? Let's get it. So let's go ahead and talk about it. So the experience was great. The atmosphere was fantastic. The crowd, I think it was at 46,000. There was a lot of empty seats in there. I think the resellers couldn't sell the tickets because what I saw on the map, seemed like the game should have had a lot more than 45,000. But you know, that's the chance you take of being a reseller and trying to jack the damn price up like a jackass. But anyway, that's nor here nor there. And for those that probably going to view this as a reseller, I mean, I get it. That's your hustle. But at the same time, this is the cost that comes with it. But anyway, enough of that. So let's go ahead and start out. Joey Aguilar looked pretty good. I want to say he was 15 out of 28, 17 out of 28, 245 yards, 3 touchdowns, no INTs, that's what we want out of our quarterback. No interceptions whatsoever. He should have had more passing yards. Honestly, he could have had over 300, maybe 4. But there was a lot of misses that took place, a lot of drop balls, a lot of overthrows. Wasn't the nerves? Could have been. But after a while, after you done settle down, those things cannot happen whatsoever. But for the most part, threw a pretty deep ball to Braylon Staley. And Mike Matthews, he did okay. There was a couple of passes that I felt like he should have caught. There were some that were high, the way he couldn't catch it. But the one that was on the sideline that he missed, the first pass that he attempted to catch, should have caught it. Was a little high, but I think if he would have caught it, he would have been out of bounds anyway. The run game looked good, as always. We ran over, 200-something yards. I want to say we ran over 230 yards. So, like I said, running back by committee, everybody did well. DeSean Bishop, he ran his butt off. I love how he brushed off that tackle when he was dead to rights in the backfield. But he was able to persevere and gain a lot of yards off of that. Star Thomas, yes, he is a star. He did really well. Scored a touchdown, caught a touchdown. He did it all today. The punting game, it does what it does. The kicking game was pretty good. Made his field goals, But for the most part, the offense did what they're supposed to do. Scored over 40 points. Scored 40 plus. Running game looked good. Like I said, passing game, could have been a lot better. But, they need to clean those things up. So, on the ETSU, that's where you could clean it up at. Definitely, during the week as well. Defensively, you looked good in the first half. You got a scoop and score, Colton Hood with a scoop and score. What's my man name? Can't even think of. Number 7. Golly, why I can't think of my man right now? But anyway, he had a nice sack. He pulled a stunt, came back around in the middle, boom. Hit that quarterback, hit Angeli pretty hard there. But secondary was decent. It was okay for the most part. But that front seven got a lot of work. A lot of work. Now, granted, we lost Omar Norman Lott. We lost Elijah Simmons. We lost Amari Thomas. Those are big guys that plugged up that middle. My man, I've got number 97 from last year. He transferred to Florida State. So, I'm going to say this. We got gashed in the run game, especially when they bounced it outside. It looked bad. It really did. I get it. It's first game. I also understand that maybe we're spoiled because of that defense that we had last year, and maybe some of us expected the same in regards to the defense, but this is a new year. You know, different pieces are on that front line, even though, yeah, they've been there. You know, they played last year, but they're not Amari Thomas. They're not Omar Norman Lott. They're not Elijah Simmons. They're not Jenkins. That was his name. They're not him. They are who they are, and they got a lot of work to do. ETSU, yeah, defense, the front seven probably going to look good. But come Georgia, you got to have that shit together. Point blank. Now, let me go back to the beginning of the game, because this is when I saw where Syracuse was going to be on the bad end of the scoreboard. How is it on the first play of Tennessee? The referee got to stop it, because the guy that has only one job, all you got to do is pick up the puck. Pick up the little kickoff stand. You couldn't even do your job. What is it, first game jitters? Buddy, you ain't got but one job. This is the only job that you do. Do better. And that was the downfall of Syracuse. Honestly, we should have blown Syracuse out the building. 45-26, okay. But let's be honest here. It was 38-14 at one point. It was out the 24-point lead. We was lethargic in the third. Now, beginning of the third, yes, we made a great interception. T-Lander made an interception off the deflection, and we took it in, made it 38-14. But then after that, it was snooze season. It was nothing else. So we got to clean that up. We can't keep doing that every year, where we'll have, you know, a quarter or two where we'll put two quarters together, and then we'll have this one quarter where we just be going to sleep. Quit getting complacent. Quit being conservative, Hyper. That's what you were doing. But at the same time, make the plays wide outs. Joey Aguilar, keep the ball down. Quit overthrowing. You did a fine job, by the way. I'm going to give you kudos. First game with Tennessee, debut. You know, in a Power 5, Power 4 matchup. You did well. I'm impressed, but I expected that also, because of the way the offense is schemed up. I expected that from you. But it looked a lot better. It looked good. You did look good. You made some decent throws. You made that throw to Kinselman in the back of the end zone, which was nice. Star Thomas in the back of the end zone, which was nice. And like I said before, that deep ball, wow, chef's kiss. But we definitely got to clean it up defensively. That should have never happened. So hopefully, you know, with the leaders that we do have on our team, they emphasize that, hey, we got to put four quarters together. Because teams that do have an offense, they'll gas you. They have, for real, offensive line, a great offensive line and a great running game, they will gas you all day long. And we can't have that. Not one bit. But I hope y'all enjoyed the game, man. You know, what are y'all thoughts about the game? How do y'all feel about the rest of the season? What did you see that you felt like that Tennessee can work on? I really would like to hear your thoughts on that. But I will say this, man. I enjoyed myself again. And you know what's so crazy? It seemed like last year, it wasn't the first game at UTC, but when I was at the game in North Carolina State, you know, we got an interception and a score. You know what I mean? And this time we got a scoop and score for a touchdown. You know, so that was just beautiful. You know, poetry in motion, if you will. But man, had a great game, great atmosphere. Ran into some folks that I knew from back home. Saw them, you know what I mean? And the funniest shit that I heard today was my man said, there was a guy sitting next to me. My man said, this is the time of year where we allow 18 to 22-year-olds to mess with our emotions. If that ain't the realest stuff, if it ain't the realest thing I ever heard, but he ain't lying. Every year we let 18 to 22-year-olds mess with our emotions, control our emotions, get us all worked up for 5 months. Let me see, what we at? August, September, October, November, December, yeah, for 5 months. We allow kids to get us worked up and have our blood pressures high and spitting this shit to the TV screen. Wild work. Wow, I'm over here driving past Six Flags. Yo, I need to get back to Six Flags. I need to get back on the roller coasters. For real, I ain't retired or nothing like that, but shit, I love them. Do y'all love roller coasters? Because I know I do. But anyway, great game. Rocky Top was loud. The band did their thing. You know, the fans showed up and showed out. My experience at SEC Nation, loved it. Saw Tim Tebow, Paul Feinbaum himself, looked like Mr. Smithers from The Simpsons. That's the way he do. Every time I see Feinbaum, I think of Mr. Smithers, man. But anyway, that was a great atmosphere, man. They had a lot of, games for kids and big ass adult kids. You know what I mean? They had, like I said, they had the SEC Nation bus there, and it looked real good. Now, it ain't game day. Now, I went to game day one year, man. I loved it. But SEC Nation, they did a fine job. Really enjoyed it. Tim Tebow did a prayer before the game, which was phenomenal. Regardless if he's a Gator, sometimes we all need Jesus in our life, man. And, we all need to be on the right path. I know we all, make mistakes here and there, man. We're not perfect. You know what I mean? That's what being a human is all about. We're not perfect. Yes, we may say some things that, shouldn't be said, or we may do some things we shouldn't even be doing, but, hey, that's what we do. We just got to stay positive, man, keep our heads up. But I'm sorry, I ain't mean to get off, task. But, yeah, like I said, I enjoyed my time. Can't wait to go to the next game. I'm probably not going to be at the ETSU game. I'm still trying to get to the Georgia game. I don't know how that's going to work out, but we'll see. But anyway, this your boy. Somebody trying to call me. This your boy, Blackout Jones. You know what this is, Just Shooting the Sports. And as I always say when I talk about my Tennessee Volunteers, go Big Orange, go Vols.